Yeah. Um, can we start now? It's fine.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
can
Can we
start.
start?
I'm going to leave the call now. So everything looks fine.
Okay. Yeah, hello, what's up, guys? How you guys doing? Is my background noisy? My background noisy. Yo. Messi. Goodness. How you guys doing? How you guys here?
Good.
Yes, we are.
Good evening.
Good evening. So how you guys doing now? How's your day? How's your day been? How's your day been?
It was actually, it's not bad.
Okay,
Calm.
okay. That's good. Okay, so I think before we start, I was reviewing some of you guys' assignments. Some of the assignment too. I've not finished reviewing everything though. But let me present and show you guys. And let me see if you guys can spot your mistakes. Come, let me share my screen. Share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we
You can
can.
see your screen.
Okay, good. And let me. Okay, I think that's all. Okay. So if you like, okay, let me show you the codes. Okay. So this is first sports goodness mistake. Okay. So goodness, can you tell me what you can see here? Can you see that there's a mistake in your code? You can see this red line. Let me reduce it a bit so you see. Can you see that this? Do you think that there's a mistake in this your code? It's run perfectly though, but like there's mistake when you probably deploy it and stuff and you start getting issues. You understand? So goodness, we are listening to you. So where is your mistake in this code? Why is the head showing red? Why is the iframe showing red?
Probably because I don't have a closing tag for my head, I guess.
Where where this is it here?
Oh, I don't.
You do. That's not the issue. So where do you think this?
Probably alignment or something, I
It's not the
guess.
alignment. It's not the alignment.
Oh, I had issues with that assignment.
Messi, you think you can spot a mistake?
I think it's because the place that the head is starting from, she's supposed to end the head there too. That place that the head is, she's supposed to drop it down. And also, her iframe is not positioned well too, I guess. No, no,
No,
no. It's because of the head. That's why the iframe is in red.
no, no, no.
Hmm.
Check
You don't
line
know
two.
it.
Check line two. What is wrong with line two?
Oh, HTML tag
What happened to it?
doesn't have closing.
Exactly. There's no
Doesn't have
closure.
a closing tag.
Exactly. Can you see now the
Oh.
head is not showing red again? And what
Mm.
about the iframe? So now what's the issue of the iframe?
Doesn't have a closing tag.
What kind of closing tag?
From the opening tag doesn't have like a brackets. I mean,
Okay.
whatever they call it.
Exactly. So that's the issue. So can you see
Mm.
your issue now, Miss Goodness? Right. So
Yes, I can
for
see.
So for Messi, you too, you have an issue. Yes. You can see that it's showing red. What's the issue? Wait. There's one more. There's one more. Yeah, there's one more. There's one more thing in this. This thing doesn't look complete. There's something missing. There's one more tag that she's missing. What do you think she's missing in this tag? Because what tag is she missing? After the HTML head tag, what tag is supposed to be after the head tag? After the head tag,
Body.
exactly. But she has a closing body here, but there's no starting body. You see,
No, wait. I think I did. More.
you did it. Are you sure?
Maybe I submitted the wrong code though.
Okay. Anyhow, but you did well, sure. But it's just the little mistakes. That's all. Okay. So when you
Thank
are
you.
doing, just take your time. Okay. Okay. So now, Messi, your turn. You see, it's showing red. Why is it showing red? Messi, you are waiting.
Oh, the A doesn't have a closing. The opening tag of the anchor whatever doesn't have a see this coding
It
English.
has.
The bracket for the
Just say
opening
greater
tag
than.
of the anchor.
Just say
Eh?
greater than. Greater than. This is a
And
greater than.
that's greater than doesn't there's no greater than.
But there's one here. There's one here.
Where?
Look at it. Now you say the anchor link. It has one.
No, it's supposed to be at the ending.
And it's at
That's
the end.
line. No, there's
Like
no
what?
supposed to be at line 13.
13. That's for the image. So the image doesn't have the
Um,
greater than. Not the. Don't say the this thing. The anchor tag is the image. Okay. So that's your mistake.
maybe one of them.
Oh, you spotted it. Oh, that's good. You spotted it. That's good. So you guys can see some little mistake you made. I've not gone through all of them though, but don't worry. I'll see if there's other mistakes. Okay. So, um, so you guys, let's start today for today's class. Content track. So today I think we're going into CSS, right? Diving into CSS, into the world of beauty. So who can tell me? Okay, let's revise. Remember, I told you guys that I'll be talking about the pattern, right? So stuff, this pattern stuff, we the basic thing I would like you guys to know is that when you're dealing with pattern, and if you are trying to give text, okay, so you yourself have to tell what kind of pattern you want in your text, depending on you, okay. If you want to specify what pattern you want in your website, okay. So now I want my user to able to put capital letters and small letters. So I have to put it in a bracket, okay. I have to give a bracket, this normal bracket, and another bracket. So you have to specify pattern first, okay, pattern. So after pattern equals to the double quotes. Then you have a bracket trying to tell us what kind of pattern do you want. So we want A to Z and what? Small letter A to what? Z. Okay, so now it will take capital letters and small letters. And this one now, the next one that it will take is a curly bracket, trying to tell us how many do you want the user to be, like the minimum. User can have less than three. That means he has the minimum is less than three. And those are yes empties means that it can be less than three and more. But if I put 10 here, it means that it will stop at 10. Okay. So basically that's some of the things you just need to know in this thing. So when you're creating numbers, it's basically the same thing. If you are trying to create a number that like something like this, maybe 123 dash 123 dash 123. You want to create a number something like this. Then you have to do first to do a bracket. You have to do a bracket. Then the bracket, sorry, you have to do a bracket. In bracket, you will tell it that oh, you should take number from 0 to what? To 9. Okay. To 0 to 9. And remember, it was three digits. So you have to specify 3 digits. Okay. So after you specify the 3 digits, then you can give a dash here. Okay. So a dash here. Okay. Then you can say another bracket again. Then you basically just do the same thing. 0 to 9, 0 to 9, then 3 digits. Okay. Another curly bracket again, 3 digits. Then you do again, another bracket again, 0 to 9, then 3 digits. Basically, that's how I like to do the pattern for like those numbers you get. So depending on what number you're doing, then you just see what kind of pattern will fit it. You understand? So that's basically I wanted to review on the pattern parts. Okay. So do you hope you guys understand, right? Hope you guys understood.
Yes.
Okay. Flourish, welcome. Okay. So Flourish, do you have any issue with the previous classes? Like you were not here in the last
Yes,
class,
class.
right?
No.
Okay. Okay. So today we're going to CSS. Okay. And let me just show a slide. So, so um, this is so it's like, open this. So who can tell me the full meaning of CSS? Who can tell me the full meaning of CSS?
It means cascading style sheet.
Yeah, that's good. Cascading style sheet. Who can tell me what who can try it? Who can tell me what CSS can be used for? What can CSS be used for?
It's used for styling the web page.
Very good, very good, very good. So remember, I was giving you guys an example. I think on the first day, the HTML is just like, let's say in respect to building a house. Okay, the the blocks, the pillar, like everything that involves the structure. You understand the foundation of building the house is HTML. Okay, and CSS is all about the beautification, the paint, the maybe the decoration, the table chair, the pictures, and all the stuff. The CSS making the house look beautiful. You get, so that's basically what CSS is all about. So just the beautification of your website. You understand? So it helps you style your website to look appealing. Okay, do you guys understand? Do you guys understand?
Yes,
So
Yes.
okay, good. So let me see. Okay, so we have spoken about the importance, right? So it's crucial in your web development for creating visual, engaging application that enhances user experience. When you're developing websites, it's all about the visual appeal, the visual aspect that makes your user enjoy your site. Okay, so when it's appealing, visually appealing, then it's improve the user experience. Okay, you can develop a website and it looks like your designs are you're mixing the different colors that doesn't make sense. Like it makes the user experience not good. You understand? So that's why CSS you have to be very good with designs. You have to know when to mix, when to use this color, when to use this. It's all about the user experience. Okay. So when it comes to CSS, so we have spoken about what CSS is. Okay, and we have spoken about um, some importance of using CSS. Okay. So now let's go into the code structure. Let me go. Created one, design. So design HTML. Okay. So in HTML, we have we have two types. We have three types of way we use CSS. Let me see. We have three types. We have the inline CSS, we have the internal CSS, and we have the external CSS. So let me put it here. So we have we have the inline CSS. Sorry, B, we have the internal CSS. C, we have the external CSS. And we'll be trying all of them today. Okay. So for the inline, so we start with the inline CSS. Okay. So let's do a like just a building structure. Okay, and we just write any code. Okay, write maybe something like a paragraph here. Sorry, write a paragraph here. Then in the paragraph we are writing what? Maybe we can just specify what we are doing. We can, let me put here a comment. Okay, so a inline inline CSS. Okay, so we are starting with the inline CSS. So then inline CSS, now we are trying to style this. Okay, we're trying to say maybe this is an inline styled, right? Styled paragraph. Sorry, paragraph, right? Now to style your inline CSS, what you do? Let me zoom in so you see. Okay. So after, so to do an inline CSS, you have to do it in between your tag. Okay. So after your P tag, you put it here. Okay. So you see, I give a space inside my paragraph. Then for me to style it, I have to use something called style. Okay. So I'll say style equals to the double quote. So this is how I do an inline CSS. So it's like if I want to style my body now, I want to do an inline CSS. I'll give inside after my body Y, after the Y, then I give a space and I say style. This is how to do an inline CSS in my body. So anywhere, based on anywhere you want to style it, you just go inside that tag. So after the paragraph first, I'm trying to style my paragraph. So after my P tag, and I give a space and I say the style. Okay. So now I have to specify what I want to style now. I want to change this color. So let's open this first. You see that it's black, right? It's going to be showing black, right? You want to change this to color blue, okay? To color blue. Then we say color, right? Then blue. So what I do now is that you first have to say what specificity you want to change. Like what you want to change the color, right? If you want to change the background color, we say background color. If you want to change the text, we say font font size. So for now, we want to change the color. We'll try all of them. Okay. So the color now we say COLOR, right? Then you say a double quote, a double colon. Then you write what color you want to change. Then you end it with a semicolon. So if you check this out now, you will see it's changed to blue. Now, if you want to change, let's say you want to change the the size. So we can say font size. So to change the size, it's font size. So font, then dash size. Okay. Then my double colon. Okay. Then maybe I want to change it to maybe 50 pixels. Then I end it with a semicolon. If I check it right now, can you see it's bigger now? Okay. So if I want to change the background color, then I say always end it with a semicolon. Always end it with a semicolon. Ending with a semicolon means that you are closing that particular element you are doing. Okay. So now the next thing we are doing now is we want to change the background color. So background dash color, right? Then a semicolon, sorry, double colon. Then maybe you want to change it to red. Then we terminate it with a semicolon. You check it right now. You can see. You get. Do you guys understand? Let me see. You guys see. Yeah. So do you understand?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. So basically, this inline CSS, what is best used for It's used for only when you are trying to target a single element. Okay, you want to target it quickly. It's not good. It's not good to target it like for if you are trying to develop a whole website. Okay, now you want to use inline CSS for everything. It's not good. Okay, you basically use it just when you want to target a specific thing. That's when you use inline CSS. Okay, so now you see what we have done, right? So these are inline CSS. Hope you get. So for now, we'll be trying other some of the CSS style. Okay, some of the elements. For now, we're just trying to I'm just trying to show you the three types of the CSS. Okay. So now for the second one, we have the internal CSS. Okay. So for the internal CSS now, you place it inside your head tag. Your internal CSS is always been placed. It's always placed inside your head tag. So after your title now, you go enter again. Then you can just say style. Should be in a it should be in a tag like this kind of tag way. Okay, this one is rather just style equals to then the double colon, right? Double quote, then that's all. But this one you give it in a tag way, okay? Because now we're styling it inside our head tag. So anything that's being placed here is our style. Okay. So now if I want to like we can remove this thing. Okay, let's comment it. I think can we comment something inside here? Okay. Oh, okay, let's comment this. Okay. Then we give another paragraph. Or we should give a H1. Let's try H1. So H1, now the H1 would be what? Maybe this heading is stored stored internally. Stored internally, right? So if you check this now, we are seeing this. So now we want to change using this style. So now this your H, this style we in this external. So let me give a comment here. So slash here, then B. So, sorry, this is internal. Sorry, I'm saying external. Rather, sorry, internal. Internal CSS. So now I want to style this H1 internal, like in an internal way, right? Internal way. So what you do now, you have to target it. You have to map it that oh, we want to style this H1 tag. So to map it here, you have to specify it here now, H1. Okay, like rather in our inline CSS, we don't need to map it. We can just style it inside where we want to style it. You get. But now we are putting it. We are giving another tag outside, like putting it in the head tag. So now I want to style. You have to map it that oh, this H1 we want to style it. Then you put a curly bracket. So now after I put a curly bracket, now you can specify what you want to style it with. Okay, so you want to change the color to what? You change the color to green, right? So it's basically the same way, green, then you terminate it. Then I click enter again to add another thing. If I want to change to like okay, so if you check this right now, you can see it is green. So maybe I want to change this to maybe in the center. So text align center. Now it's going to be at the center. Okay. So I want to change the font size. So font size 50. Can you see? So basically, when you are using the internal CSS, you have to map it. Okay, now let's say we have another paragraph here. Okay, we have another paragraph here saying this paragraph, right? The paragraph. Now, if you check this now, you see nothing has happened to this because we haven't mapped it. So to style it now, we have to map it. You have to map it, like give another styling the H1 also. I sorry, the paragraph with we want to use a different style. Okay, so we enter here, then say P tag, then curly bracket, enter. Now we can change anything we want to do. Maybe change it to blue, and maybe text align. Maybe to make it, let's make it to the right. Okay, so to go to the end. So if you check this now, you see it here. This is a paragraph. Can you see? So that's how we use the internal way of styling. Do you guys get? So hope you guys understand.
Yes, you do. Yes, I do.
Goodness, is she there?
Yes, I understand it.
Okay. So now we have done the internal and the inline. So remember, I said the inline is basically used just to target something quickly. Maybe you want to target just the paragraph, something just quickly, maybe just one thing. But we are not doing like we are not trying to give an inline to every document, just a specific thing. Then it's good to use inline. But now for internal is basically used to store like maybe you want to style a single HTML file. Okay, maybe you have, you see, maybe you are designing multiples of HTML, right? Multiple of pages. It's not good for multiple of pages. It's rather good for only one page. Okay, maybe you are trying to style this only this page, then you can use your internal style. Okay, but like if you have different pages that are linking to each other, you have another page, you have another page, and they have like you see most of them will have the same thing you are using. Maybe the paragraph, you want all of them will be having the same paragraph. You understand? So instead of you, if you style here the paragraph here, you have to copy the same thing and put it in that other one too. Then it's a lot of effort. You understand? So instead of that, we have something called the external way of creating those kind of things that you can reuse it all over all your code. You can use it everywhere. You just have to link it. That's all. So now the external way now, you just create another file. You have to create another file. Then you name it anything, okay, based on what you want to do. But it has to be end with .css. So any name, but it has to end with .css, okay. So now we can name this style, okay, style.css, okay. So we have our CSS here. So now to link this CSS to this our design page, then we have to do a link. So we can let's remove this. Let's comment this, okay. So now to link this design page to this, we have to add a link. Okay. So and this will be placed inside your head. This will still be placed inside your head. So you say link, like then your link will have the rule. Okay, the rule is going to talk about it's trying to tell you that it's a style sheet, right? Okay. So it's trying to tell us that the document that we're trying to relate with or we're trying to link with is a style sheet. Then now we have the href. The href is one that's going to connect which document you are trying to link. Okay, so we are linking the style.css. So now we type here style.css. Now to link it. Automatic like this now, it's been linked. But now we haven't given it any style, so it's blank like this, right? So now we come here again. We basically do what we are doing here. But like now, we don't need this style. We don't need this thing. We don't need this style here. We can just start with targeting it now, like mapping it, H1. But like for the internal, you have to give a style. Let us know that it's a style that you are doing, okay. Basically, here too, you have to do the same thing also, say style. But now your internal own, your external own, because you have created a style document by itself, right, by its own, and giving it .css, automatically you will know that oh, this is a style document. Okay. So now you can place here what we did here, giving it what the color as what green, color here green. Okay. So if you check this now, you can see green. You can give here also text align center. Then you see that center. Okay. Basically that's how we do the thing. Okay. And we can come and give another paragraph. So let me put a comment here. So okay. So so C just external CSS. Okay. So that's it. Okay. So goodness, tell me, you can tell me the three uses of CSS or the three types of CSS. Or how the three way of how we use CSS. How anyhow put it. If you guys understand, tell me. And
Change
tell me how
text.
you use them. Okay, so
To
wait,
change
last
text color. Mm.
the last thing, last thing, last thing, last thing. So for the external now, so the external one you can use it for multiples of pages. And I told you, and it's one of the best practice to use. That's if you are using multiples of pages that are linking to each other. Okay, maybe if you have only one page, like you just have one page, your site is one page like this, blank like this. You don't have it to, it's not linking to any other pages. Then you can use the internal way of styling. Okay, and if you are just trying to style just a particular thing, just one thing, just thing, then you can use inline styling. Okay, but if your website has different pages that has to link with each other, then you know you have to have consistency. You understand? It has to have the same font size. Maybe your header has to have the same color you get. And it's best the best practice is to use external CSS so that you don't have to write this all over and over your code again. You know, one thing about programming is always good to shorten your code. They always say keep it short. You understand? That's keys. Keep it short and keep it simple and short. Okay, or keep it short and simple. Anyone. So now I create this in my external CSS. I can just if I have different documents, I can just link it. I'll just come here over again. I want to link it here. I'll just come to this my input here and give it a link again. A link and I'll just give it the link to this style and say style.css. That's all. And this one will have the style for this CSS. If there's a H1, then it will style the H1. Okay. So yeah, so I'm waiting. So tell me the okay, they'll just try and explain the three types and maybe how you use them. Okay. Something like that. Goodness, mercy, flourish. So you guys tell me. Maybe Mercy will tell us. Mercy, you go first. You tell me about inline. Goodness will tell me about internal, and Flourish will tell me about external. So Mercy. So tell me about inline.
So you said goodness to tell you about what?
Internal. Internal CSS. So Mercy, tell me about inline. What is inline?
Talk now.
Inline is when you apply the style directly to the inside the HTML kini, like inside the line in a line of code. Like yes, that's what it is.
Okay. And which best where okay, let me say which best practice is it used for?
What do you say?
Like which best practice is it used for?
The best practice that it is used for is I think inside this particular element or attribute.
Okay, okay. Okay, that's
Did
good.
I get it?
That's good. Don't worry. That's good. So goodness, your turn. What is internal? What is it all about?
From my understanding, I think the internal CSS is like we're writing our CSS code inside our HTML file, but like not
Mm-hmm.
directly on the elements.
Mm-hmm.
But we keep them all in one place, like in the head section of the page, I guess. I don't.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. So why which best practice is it used for?
It's mostly used for when you're like writing a code for a single page, like one page.
Very good. Very good.
Eh?
So Flourish, tell me about external. Is Flourish there?
External CSS is like creating a separate CSS file
Okay.
for your styling. Then
Why do we have to create an external like style another page or style for our CSS?
linking to your HTML document inside your HTML file. I
Yeah,
said
yeah.
external CSS like creating a file for your a CSS file, then you will now link it to your HTML file inside your HTML
Yes,
document.
yes. But my question is that why do we have to create another file for our styling? Why do you think we should like why should we do that? We can just create style like how goodness said. We can just create it. Yeah, we can just create a style like how goodness did. Why is it necessary for me to create another style the CSS? Can you tell me? Do you get the question? Flourish.
Yes, it's because it used to keep the code simple and clean.
This what? Come again.
It keeps the code like simple.
Okay, okay. Okay, we tried though, we tried. But like, that's not what I want
The
to
reason
say.
why we
But
took it to an external file is because it keeps it simple.
yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, you understand. But like there's a keyword I need, but I didn't say it though, but I just wanted to see if anybody can try it. Like I thought maybe you might get it, but do you think you know it's goodness or mercy? Do you think why should I just create another CSS when I can just do the thing in my HTML? Why is it necessary for me to put it here?
Wait, I think according to what you said there are several pages like, and when they have websites there are several pages, so that it keeps it uniform and in line,
Consistency.
consistent. Abi,
Exactly.
this was
That's
majority
a good
effort.
one. That's a very good one. That's a very good. So basically, I have to I create another external CSS just because of I have multiples of pages, right? So I can just be creating, as what Flourish said, I can just be creating my CSS in my style, right? Like over and over and over internal way. So I want to keep it simple, right, and short. So instead, I just put it all over. I put it inside create another file in my CSS, and I'm able to. I can just be linking it. Okay. So all of you are right. Okay. You guys are correct. Okay. So that's very good. So let's see one more. Let's see what we can do. Okay, now let's talk about now we're going to talk more about the external CSS. Okay, so there are three ways of we have something called the CSS selectors. Okay, so basically what we did here is basically like CSS selectors. Yeah, this thing it's called the CSS selectors, and there are three ways of how they call it. Like you use a selector. We have the element selector, we have the class selector, we have the ID selector, we have the group selector, and we have the universal selector. Okay, so we'll be trying all of them. Okay, don't be scared there much. So now basically what I've done here is the elemental or element selector. So this is like yeah, targeting all the HTML elements of a type. That means maybe you are given maybe a paragraph. You target a paragraph. You're given what a a table. You're targeting the table. Okay. You're given a input. You're targeting the input. So everything like this now I'm targeting it here. I'm targeting what? The paragraph. I'm targeting what? The table. I'm targeting what? The input. So all these are called the elements. Sorry. The element selector. Okay. I'm just trying to target HTML elements. So we have already done some of them. Okay. So now let me create something here. So now the next one, okay, let me put a comment so that we we follow what we are doing. Okay. So this is called the sorry element selector. Okay. Now let's do okay. Let me add another one. Okay. Let me add another paragraph. Give it the font size. Font size. Font size of maybe 30 pixels. So this is we have done basically the elemental sector. Okay. You can see this. So now let's say we have another. Let's give another this thing. Another hitch. Another paragraph. Okay. So we have another hitch. Something like maybe H2 saying um welcome to my page. Okay. Then we have another paragraph saying, tell us about yourself. So if you guys see this right now, you see something. See now, it's this we have styled the paragraph. So automatically the one below also be styled because it has the same paragraph. Like we're using the same paragraph. But for the H2 we didn't target it. But we are targeted for the paragraph. But now let's see something now. The second one we have is called the class selector. Now if I want to target something that, like, I don't want, you see what happened here now, this paragraph. I want to give this second paragraph a different color. But now because I've given this paragraph at the top blue, and I've given another paragraph here, it automatically this one to be blue. But now I want to change this one to red. What will I use? I'll use something like a class selector. I can use a class selector. I can use an ID selector. So those are used to identify something specific. You understand? You don't want it to affect other maybe elements. You understand? So now like this now, I give this a class. So now if I'm using the class selector, so I'll say class. And the class now I'll name it anything. Anything that I want to style. So maybe I can give this maybe heading or maybe welcome or something. Welcome as my class. And I can come here also and give this another class again, saying maybe P1 or para or what, anyone. You can name it anything. Okay. So now after what I've done now, what has happened? So I have to go back to my external CSS and target this and map it. So for the way I'm able to map this now, I have to use this class selector. This class selector. So to target this my class now, this is how you do it. You use dot. So now let me give something here saying class selector. 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 So now I'll say dot. So dot what? I'll check the name I gave it. Welcome. So dot welcome. Then I'll give the curly bracket. And I can style it anything. The background color light blue or anything. And maybe font size 40 pixels. So if you check this now, you see I'll be able to style this. Even if I change this to H1, you ask yourself, oh, I've given this side as H1. What will happen if I give it to H1? Will the green, will it change to green? To change to green. Because now I'm targeting the welcome. So nothing will happen. You see any green again. Only why this is why you see green now. It's because of I didn't change, I didn't override the color here. Okay. I didn't override the color here. So if I override it here and say color to be maybe blue violet. You see now that it has changed to blue violet. Okay. Hope you guys understand. So now this now let's if you want to change this paragraph now, you can see both of them are still the same. So I have to go there. I gave this paragraph as what a class name called para. So now come here and say dot para. Then I can change it to the light green and the color to red, then semicolon, close it. So if I check it now, you see it's not the same again. Do you guys understand? Mercy, goodness, flourish. Do you guys understand?
Yes, we do.
Are you sure? We're using this a lot too, so you guys have to understand it very well. I go over again. If I want to target now, let's say we are creating maybe a lot of something, like a lot of work, like we have a lot of things in our site. We have H1, we have H2, we have paragraph, we have a lot of things, right? What you're supposed to do now, you have to use the element selector, giving maybe all your H1 will have this size, okay? All your H1 will have this color, all your paragraph will have this font size, all your paragraph will have this color. So now that's the first thing I'll do in anything I'm creating. You understand? So so that all any H1 I create will have the same, will have green. So if I create another H1, if I create another H1 here, and I say go, you see that it will give the same way I styled it. I give this green text center. It will be at the center. So now anything I create, anything I add H1, it will be styling this. It will be styling this. It will be using the same styling I gave. But now if I want to give a specific H1 a different color, that I want this H1 to be different. I want this H1 to be different. And that's when you give a class. That's when a class has to come in. That now to override what I gave at the H1. That I don't want it to have the same. Sorry. Okay. So I don't want my H1 to have the same color I give it in this place. Then that's when I can use a class to override it. That's when we use the class selector. Okay. So now the class selector I can give it what? Maybe the same welcome I gave it. So now it will override with the one I gave it here. This class selector. And to use the class selector, you have to use dot the name of the class you gave it. Okay. Then your curly bracket and color. So now if you check now to change to what I gave it here, you see. So now the third one we have is the ID selector. Okay. So the ID selector works like it works like the class selector. Exactly how it works. But there's a limitation between both of them. Don't worry, when we get further, you understand the limitation between them. But like the two of them work the same way. So the both of them gives okay. So the ID selector gives the we are trying to tell the browser that we are trying to style a particular thing. Okay. So that's why we can also give it an ID that I want to change this. I'm trying to put my laptop on charge. Oh, a sec, I'm trying to put my laptop on charge.
I'm sorry, can you hear him? This is from my end.
Hello guys. Hello guys.
Hello.
Yeah, please can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Sorry. I need to my battery went off. Oh, sorry. I just went to sleep off. Okay, I'm back. Okay, let me share my screen again. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was seeing something someone was saying, keep it simple, stupid. Yeah, you're right. We are forgetting that abbreviation. I think it was messy, right? Keep it simple, stupid. Yeah, I don't like using the stupid. I rather say short. Because I've forgotten that it's called stupid. So. Okay. So let me show you. You guys can see my screen, right? Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can
Yes.
see your screen.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, we're talking about the ID selector, right? So for the ID selector, I said it basically works like how you are styling. Maybe you want to give a particular design to maybe your paragraph, your heading, your any element. Okay, it basically work like how this one works also the class selector. Okay, hope you guys know what I'm saying. So one of the difference, this ID is like you're trying to say this is unique. You understand? So I think if I can recall very well, the ID is used to for a particular like a unique one. Like it can be used for only one thing. Like this welcome now, we can use it for multiple. Like if welcome a lot for our classes. Okay, maybe we want to start two things. Like we want two things to be the same. We want two things to be the same. Okay, then we use the class maybe just to give them an identity. Okay, but now we want something unique. That thing is only for that particular element. Only for that particular element. We don't want to give it for anything. Then we use the ID. So if I can recall very, well, I think that's what they use it for. The ID. Okay, so they can use the class and you can use the ID. They all works the same way, okay, but there's a limitation. So that's what I'm trying to remember the limitation if that's it. So now let's try it, okay. So maybe we um give a paragraph saying say let's see I love coding, okay, and maybe another paragraph saying uh I hate cooking. Right? We have two different paragraphs. Okay. And we see this paragraph now. Let's let me open it in Lifecycle again. So you can see we have two paragraphs and they are taking the first paragraph we gave it here, the same element, the element design we gave it at the top here. Okay. So now we want to override it. Okay. We want to override it with our own paragraph. Like we want to do a design for it. Then we can give another ID. We can give it an ID. So we see ID then equals to the double quote. Then maybe we can give this maybe code. But I don't know if you can store multiples with ID. I don't know, but I think let me see. Let's give it a try. I don't know. I don't think. Let me see. So now to target an ID now, we use the hash. Okay, hash code. But for class, we use the what? We use the dot. For ID, we use the okay. Okay, works the way. Okay, okay. It works too. Okay. So now we can see both of them now are using has gray. Both of them have gray. Now we can also change the words, the color. We can give it. pink, understand? You give it maybe the center, text align center. Okay. So now you can see now we have the all are in the center. You can see it clearly. Let me give red. Think red is a bit bright. So you can see it right. Good. So that's basically like for ID. Okay, it works like how class selector does, but like I think there's a limitation. I'll just try and check that out. Okay. Like I know that ID most of the time are mostly used for unique, like to make something unique. Okay. So now there's another one. We have the group selector. Okay. Now we have this paragraph. We want to group things. We want to group elements. Like we have the same. We want to group H1, H2, and all of them. We want them to be at the center. So instead of us doing, remember I told you, remember the thing, keep it simple and stupid as Messi corrected me, keep it. So what we do now is that you can't be putting here, you have to put your text align center, put your text align center, put your text align center, put it. It's like you're repeating that whole thing over and over and over again. What you just do is that we have something called the group selector. So let me keep another comment here. So the group selector. Okay. Selector, okay. Now what I do now is just that now I want to target my H1. I want it to be at the center. I want my paragraph to be at the center. I want my H2 to be at, is there a H2? No, okay. Only H1. Then what you do is comma, paragraph, comma. If there's another thing again, there's no other thing again. Okay. So that basically these are the things. Maybe if there are multiples of things, we have table, we have input, anything, so forth, so on and so forth. But now we have only two elements there, right? If you can also add dots. If there's a class you want to target, you can say dots what maybe if you give you what you gave it as. But now the paragraph will work for everything, okay? So even though there's a class here, you can just target only the class, okay? You can only target you saw the elements. So you can if you want to still target the class, you can. Okay, if maybe it's a different thing, you understand? So you can the paragraph will work for everything. Okay, so you can just leave as paragraph. Then the curly bracket, you won't put comma here, oh, just put P, that's all. And now we say text align center. So we can remove all this center we see here. Everything will be aligned in the center. Every single thing will be aligned in the center. If you check it now, can you see everything is aligned in the center? Because now we used what? We targeted what we want to be at the center, okay? So this is just for applying to multiples of elements, okay? Maybe elements we want them to be at the center. You get. So instead of rewriting it over, like repeating the code, you're placing it here, we can just group it in one place and give it what we want to give. Okay. So there's another one, we have the universal selector. So that's the last one. Okay. So the universal selector. I saw somebody used it in their code. I saw somebody use this in their code. So the universal selector, what does it do? It's basically used to apply to all elements. If like be table, if like be title, if like be the paragraph, be anything, it will apply to it. Okay. So the universal, so to do an universal one, you just use the asterisk. This asterisk. So it's in number 8. So the asterisk, then your curly brackets. So anything you apply here will affect everything. So now I want to give this a font. Like if I let me put this so you see the change. Let me put this here. And if I give this a font family, like what we saw here, and you see everything has changed. You can give this to Time Roman. So everything will affect it. So now if I give this, maybe because all of them have. Okay, what do you think will happen, you guys? If I give this, if I say all of them to be blue, like I want them to be. Okay, let's change all that. Okay, so let me share my screen. So we try to round up and just do one or two examples. Share my screen. Can, can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see my screen?
Not yet.
It's blank.
Can you guys see my screen?
Not yet. It's looking blank to me.
There's nothing
It's
showing.
Let
nothing
me
showing.
let me stop sharing.
I'm using network issue. Oh, that's what
Okay.
the
Can you see my screen now?
um no.
Are you guys sure?
I'll start doing something. Let me see if it's on my end.
Okay. You can check the live stream. You can check the live stream.
So we should go to the live stream.
You can. Okay. Let me
You
see.
can't go.
I don't know,
Wait, hold on.
but nothing is showing like the
I can
normal
see.
screen.
You can check the live stream. I can see myself in the live stream. I can see. So
I
You
think
know
it's the
what?
only moderator that can see the live stream.
So probably we are going to probably have to join the
Wait,
live stream.
let us rejoin.
yeah, try and rejoin. Try and rejoin. Can you guys see? Can you guys see my screen? Can you
Yes,
guys see my screen? Can you see it now?
yes,
Yes.
yes,
Okay.
yes, we can.
Okay. So this is basically what we have done, right? So do you guys have any question about this? Or or
There's no question. We'll watch it in the live stream so that you can have the class see.
okay, so let's let's talk about some of the basic styles. Okay, like the color, the font, the background, and some things. Okay, then we can end the class today. So now you see in CSS now we have used some of them. Okay, you can see like
Sorry,
where
I
we want
have a
to change
question.
this. Okay, okay.
I saw. Can we go to the code like the yeah? The whole block is green, not only the text.
Right, this my background is green.
Mm.
It looks green.
I didn't understand.
Like see, welcome to my page. The background is colored. Tell us about yourself. The
Yeah.
background is colored.
Yes.
Like
That don't
girl.
worry. I'll explain the these things. Okay. That's why I'm
Okay,
coming
thank
there
you.
right now. Okay. So now we can see here in our H1 we did some color. Okay. So to change something like a text color, okay, to change the text color, we don't say maybe text color, we say color, maybe or color, how you say it. Then the text will be colored to maybe green. Okay, so that's what basically we did here. You understand? So if like now I want to change the background color, I'll just say background, then the color. Then I can give this maybe quit. And if you check now, you can see it's colored. You see the top one is colored, right? So that's how to change. Like yeah, I gave that one you're talking about the green. I gave that tell about yourself. I gave it green. Then you see para. So because we gave the text what we gave that dot class name called para. So tell us about yourself. And we gave it what light green. And we gave the color red. You get. So when you are doing colors, we have 4 ways of naming colors. We have the normal color name, that the color name like green. We have another way of naming it. We have another way called the hex code. The hex code is like maybe use a hash FF000, or you just there's a way you just check. You have to check it out. You understand? You have to check them out. The F2, you see. So this one I think is white. You see, it's white. So when you go online and you check for maybe hex code colors, you see how to change maybe green to hex way. Okay, so if you go online like this now, hex 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 color, yes, hex color code. You go online, you see a lot of hex color code. You get, then you can pick, you can convert, you can pick. Okay, you can pick what color you want. So if I want green, you can see the color here. So that's hash F2. So you just copy it here and you put it here. So I put it in this place to give me green. And I can give here blue at the top. So the top will be blue and the text will be, sorry, the text here. You see the text is green and the, sorry. So because I gave it two distance, sorry. So I want to give this at blue. Yeah. So you can see now. So this is a hex way of giving color. Okay. So you can also do it in your background also. It works the same way. So this is hex code. We have another one called the RGB value. That's red, green, and blue. So you're trying to give color to your red, color to your blue, and green and blue. So like now we can also you can do it here also. You can also do it here, this blue way. You see there is an RGB here. So the RGB, you see you can pick what color you want. You can select here maybe you want green, and you hover around it. You get, now you can see now the red has 38, the green has 177, and it has 75 here. So now if you check this now, can you see? So that's another way. That's another way. That's another way of doing this thing. That's another way of doing this. So now we have the last one. The last one we have the RGBA. That's the transparency. That's the transparency. So the transparency, that's like you make it if you want it to be transparent. I'm saying adding another one. So here will be A. You have A here, and you can have another comma, then maybe 0.0, maybe 0.1 or 0.2, depending on how transparency you want the color to be. Can you see it's transparent? So if I give here 1, color will display well. To display, can you see display well? But if I reduce the transparency to 0.1, the color will be transparent. So can you see? So that's it. That's for the basic one. Okay. Yes. So I think we can try and end the class today. Maybe tomorrow we talk more about the family, the font size, the weight and stuff. Okay. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Like now we can
Okay.
do that one that was on your screen. Like integrate something, something.
Yeah. So you guys can try and practice some of this using some of the colors. Okay. The background colors and other stuff. And see how it works. So, have a good day. Okay.
Bye.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, sure.
Should end it now. Or should we go first?